Welcome back, guys, or if you're new to my channel, this is Automotive Anonymous. That's our 2025 Subaru Forester. It's a premium in crystal white pearl, and today's video is going to be about the 7 things that I absolutely love about the Subaru Forester and why we decided to own one. This is our third Subaru. I have personally driven over 80,000 miles between my 2019 Crosstrek that I had for 2 years and my 2022 Outback Wilderness that I've had for about 3 years. And so this is our third one. We bought it just a couple months ago. And I don't want this to be another boring Subaru video that's all the same about why do you love them? All-wheel drive, good safety, fairly affordable, good cargo capacity, the basic things like that. This is actually going to be a little bit more real talk about how it has impacted our family's lives. What does it do for me? What does it do for us? Psychologically, emotionally, physically. I may be getting a little bit silly right now, but I do want to talk about why we love this, why the 7 reasons that I have thought of for why this might be the best vehicle for us at this time in our life, and how this might resonate with some of you guys as well. So if you guys like anything you see today, please consider liking this video. Comment your thoughts and opinions below. Why do you like your Subaru? Why don't you like it? And do you relate to any of these things? And then if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing if you want to watch more stuff. And with that said, let's get right into the 7 things that I love about the 2025 Subaru Forester. The first and probably most important reason is that this is a really safe vehicle. They're a top safety pick. Plus, sure, it might not be as safe as a Tesla that doesn't have an engine, that doesn't have a gas tank, and is literally basically one giant crumple zone, but Subaru has really engineered their unibody construction of this and most of their other models to be extremely safe and to really absorb impact. So since this is my wife's daily driver and I'll drive it, for videos, for experiences, for taking it on our road trips and stuff like that together, I don't have to worry about her safety. Her last vehicle, which she had for about 8 years, was a small, compact, mid-sized sedan. It had okay safety ratings and features for the year that it was built when she bought it new, but compared to this, I just don't think it holds up as well. This has so many safety features, so many adaptive and passive, features with it, that whether it's her driving or other people and anyone else that's involved, I just don't really have to worry about the safety of it. When you look at a lot of other popular vehicles, go on, Google them, YouTube them, try to check out the crash test results of them, and you might be surprised at how many vehicles that you assume are safe because they're from Toyota or Honda or other major brands and manufacturers. They might actually not hold up that well in crash tests. So when Subaru brags about being a top safety pick plus and having so many top safety pick plus models, I really can't blame them. That's a pretty impressive feature to be proud of because they want you to be safe. They want you to hold up well in accidents. And it gives me a lot of peace of mind knowing that this is such a safe vehicle for whoever is going to be riding in it. The second point, which is also a very valuable one for us, and especially in the peace of mind category, is reliability, or at least anticipated reliability of this. We did buy a 10-year bumper-to-bumper and powertrain warranty. If you guys are wondering or new to the Subaru Gold member warranty, whatever they call it, it is a Subaru warranty. It's not some third-party aftermarket one that you're going to have to fight tooth and nail to actually get them to honor. We did do the $100 deductible, and if you guys are considering one of these, I would call around to multiple dealerships if you're not happy with the offer that you are getting, because just like vehicles that are bought at invoice and sold at MSRP, I can't share exactly what we got our huge discount from Twin Falls Subaru, but I will say there's some wiggle room, so definitely check that out. But having a 10-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, and we bought ours with the 100,000 mile mileage as the equivalent for the distance we can go, or the time frame, 120 months. I'm pretty excited that we don't really have to worry about a lot of stuff with this. And because most of the maintenance items on this are actually pretty easy, and me not being mechanically trained, I'm trained in physical therapy. I'm not trained as a full-on Subaru mechanic or anything like that. So a lot of the fluid changes, a lot of the basic things, tire rotations, I can do all that stuff on my own. So it's nice to have a vehicle that we can work on. And then with that powertrain warranty, not having to worry about engine problems or anything that's going to be a big expense beyond the $100 deductible is really nice, because I have had an engine go out on my very first car, my Impala that I supercharged in high school, about 7 months after it was supercharged. It had a rod knock that wasn't really from the tuning or any issue. It was literally babied. I would floor that thing like once a week, but it was just because it was a higher mileage, more abused vehicle that I bought as my cheap new car. And buying the supercharger kit, just overdid it. It had a rod knock. So I've experienced engine failure, and it sucks. I've also had a couple transmissions go out, And that included my Trans Am, which the 4L60 and that, that's a truck transmission. It couldn't handle the power. Those are known to not be reliable. So that's one thing. And then my Miata transmission also went out. So I've had enough powertrain problems that I really don't want to have to worry about it. So although I'm never really the one that would suggest buy an aftermarket warranty, because on average, the companies make money off of you. It does save a few people, but overall the companies do make more money. And I'm just realizing that when labor rates cost well over sometimes $150 an hour in the year 2024, 2025, it might just be worth it to suck it up, pay a couple grand, have a really lengthy powertrain warranty, and just not have to worry about any mechanical failures on this, and know that they're not going to be your responsibility if they happen. The third reason is Subaru customer service is probably the best in the business, which again just kind of adds to the peace of mind category. As far as brand new vehicles, I've only owned them from 3 different manufacturers. I've had a couple new Tacomas I bought new, a couple Subarus now, and a Mazda. And although I have had to have a few customer service and warranty claims on other vehicles, the Subaru ones are literally just the best. Calling Subaru of America customer service is way too easy. You can actually talk to a real live person within about 10 minutes. Sure, it might take about a day to get the email, to get more in touch with the specialty person for your actual specific concern, but they make it right. I've had coupons shipped to me. I've had products shipped to me, just kind of little goodies to say sorry about the inconveniences that you've experienced. And overall, I've been really impressed with them. And beyond the warranty, just to know that I can talk to a real life person who's probably in a state 1 or 2 over from me, it just adds even more peace of mind to know that Subaru actually cares. Subaru customer service is legit. And even if you've owned other Subarus in the past, call them, see if they'll give you a loyalty coupon. They seriously want to keep you as a customer, and I really appreciate that about them. The fourth reason is kind of related to the Subaru all-wheel drive, the safety, just all those different things. But because we have a second Subaru in the family now, and a really good one, I feel like I can be a little bit more adventurous and have a different experience with my daily driver if I want to, and I replace the Outback Wilderness. So I might venture back to a mid-sized truck. I might venture into a Toyota, 4x4, depending on how reliable the new 6th generation 4Runner is. And the new Land Cruiser, those might be considered. I do have an EV charger in the garage. I don't think at this point I would be buying something like that, but it is really cool to feel like now that we have a really good family car, now that my wife's taken care of, and a better car than she used to own, I feel like I can be a little bit more adventurous. I'm always gonna have a ton of Subaru footage and videos and reviews on my channel, at least that's the plan anyways, but it's cool to feel like, even though I love Subaru, if they don't come out with the Baja or the new 7th generation Outback, if it's not something that excites me, I could venture off and just have a little bit of fun with another platform and see what I can come up with that. But for now, having this is a lot of peace of mind. The fifth reason is just overall, the Forester being about 15 feet long and 6 feet wide, it's just overall really well sized. It gets 30 miles per gallon on average. And I actually have been getting 30 miles per gallon at 80 mile per hour interstate speed, which was a pleasant surprise. Going highway speed, it actually was getting upper 30s. So it is pretty cool that this can get such good MPG, and if anything, better than I was expecting originally. And if it's in the garage, it does a lot of things well. It's just easy to drive around town, and it's big enough to take on road trips and pack everything you need in the back. So it does a pretty good job, and I can't complain too much about its compactness, its size, and how Subaru structures so many things into such a smaller package. My sixth favorite thing is overall, it's pretty simple to just hop in. There's not really a lot of surprises, not a lot of over complexities to this. You just jump right in, fire right up. It does have push button start, a lot of just convenience features like proximity key features. The biggest concern is the touchscreen, that ventilation, everything is connected to it. Even like traction control, there are things like that that are all tied into it. Sometimes laggy, sometimes slow, it's thinking I'm clicking on the wrong stuff. So there are a few things that I just don't like about this system, but overall, it's pretty straightforward. The wheel is easy to figure out. You have adaptive settings on the right, voice and volume controls on the left. I will say it is kind of confusing because my volume control on the Outback Wilderness on my 2022 is right there. So I keep pushing this up and down, realizing that the volume's not changing and that the volume is now down here. So it's just some tactile muscle memory to get used to that. But overall, it's just pretty straightforward. I don't like the wireless charger, but I do like the plugins. I do like that there is storage and some pretty big cup holders that can easily fit like a Stanley cup, 40 ounce. There's just good storage all throughout this, and it's a pretty straight layout, really good visibility, pretty easy to understand. It just kind of feels almost like an old, like 20-year-old Honda CR-V or some other like early 2000s, late 90s boxy SUV, and I like that a lot about it. And then the final thing I love about it is it takes you places. It's a really good adventure vehicle. This is obviously just a gravel road, just off of some pavement. Really nothing that any vehicle in existence, even a 19th century wagon probably can't do. But it's just nice that with the all-wheel drive, with the ground clearance, with the Subaru independent suspension on all four corners, it's comfortable on road. It's definitely not going to articulate and manage, a 4x4 trail like a 4x4. Hence why the Park Service, the National Park Service, is having a hissy fit about don't take your all-wheel drive vehicles on 4x4 trails. And I do understand this. Yes, it is a competent all-wheel drive system. Yes, this is light years ahead of the Toyota RAV4, other vehicles like that, but it doesn't articulate. You're much more likely to lift the body and do things that you're not going to enjoy doing if you're not a heavy, off-roader, but rather a soft-roader, to take you to a trailhead, to take you on some gravel, to take you on very light bumps and ruts in the road. But this does a lot of that really well. And if you're buying a Subaru, you're probably not buying a vehicle that you're gonna do some crazy Moab, Hell's Canyon, Hell's Gate, whatever all that stuff is called, off-roading. You're just gonna be driving it around life, and you're gonna be taking it to the outdoors. You're gonna be having some fun. And this does a really good job at that. There aren't really a lot of limitations if you're being reasonable with your Subaru Forester or any of the other Subarus on the 8.7 inches of Subaru Global all-wheel drive mechanical platform. And even with the 370 final drive ratio that this has, it just puts the power down really well. And for only being a 4-cylinder, it does an okay job around town. Ultimately, guys, that is my list of the things that I love about our brand new family Forester. It basically just comes down to a lot of peace of mind. Sure, I didn't want to pay for the extended warranty, but it gives me that much more peace of mind, knowing that I'm never going to have to worry about any repairs for at least 10 years. And at that point, we can reassess the situation if that situation doesn't come up first, and we can decide what to do with it. But I will say, for the last couple of years of us owning that littler sedan that had a 1.4-liter turbocharged engine, I was starting to get worried about its reliability. I didn't want to deal with all the accessories falling apart off of the engine. And most of the maintenance items are easy to do. This has an extended warranty, so I'm not going to have to worry about a surprise one day at the mechanic could cost you well over $1,000. That's just absurd. I'd rather pay a little bit more upfront and have the peace of mind. I'd rather know that this is going to be a safe vehicle for our family, for our friends, for anyone else that's going to be riding with us. And it just does a lot of things well without a lot of compromises, and that's why this is our third Subaru. That's why we keep returning to the brand, and it's difficult to imagine life without a Subaru at this point. I know a lot of you guys probably agree with that, especially if you're repeat Subaru owners or Subaru addicts, whatever you want to call. They kind of have their own cult following, which is kind of neat, kind of interesting, kind of like Jeep Wranglers or Toyota 4Runners. These are good vehicles. At least that's my opinion. That's my perspective. What is yours? Please comment below. If you guys got anything out of this video, please consider liking this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hope to see you again on the next one. And until next time, take care.